Hello friends, welcome back to my channel's CBC tutorials. Today I'm going to explain you the topic significant figures. Now this topic significant figures is present in your physics as well as chemistry. So let's see what is significant figures. Now it is basically a method of expressing the uncertainty in measurement. Okay, and there are certain rules to determine the significant figures. Now let's see what the rule says. So I have written all the rules over here. Now the first rule says all non-zero digits are significant. For example, we have a number called 3.144. Now over here, what are non-zero digits? The digits from 1 to 9 are non-zero digits because they're not zero, right? So over here, these are non-zero digits and they say that all the non-zero digits are significant. So over here, how many non-zero digits are present? We have 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have 4 non-zero digits present over here. So all these 4 non-zero digits which are present over here, they are called significant. So we have got 4 significant figures over here. Okay. Similarly, if you have something called 23 without any decimal. Now here also you have 2 non-zero digits. Now since we said that all the non-zero digits are considered to be significant, so automatically whenever you see non-zero digits, you can write that there are 2 significant figures present over here. Okay. Now let's see the next rule. The next rule says that all the zeros between 2 non-zeros are significant. Okay. Now it says all the zeros which are present between 2 non-zeros, they are significant. For example, we have something called 5.04. Now over here, if I ask you how many significant figures are there. Now if you see properly, first we can say from the first rule that first all the non-zero digits are significant. So we have already got 2 of our significant figures, that is 5 and 4, because 5 and 4 are non-zeros, so those 2 are significant. So we got our 2 significant figures. Now we need to check whether this 0 is significant or not. Now since our second rule says that when zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, okay, these 2 are non-zeros, so when zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, they are significant. They are considered to be significant. So over here we have already got 2 of our significant figures and the 0 which is present between 2 non-zeros. So the 0 also can be considered as a significant figure. So overall we have got here 3 significant figures because the 0 is present between 2 non-zeros, so it can be considered as a significant figure. Now if I give you something like 200. Now over here we have one significant figure, that is 2, because it is a non-zero. Now check the both zeros. Now zeros are considered to be significant only if they are present between 2 non-zeros according to our second rule. Now since zeros are not present between 2 non-zeros, if we had one more number called 2 over here, then these 2 zeros would have been significant. But we have only 200. So we have only one significant figure over here, that is 2, because it is a non-zero. But if it was something like 2, 0, 0 and 2, then we have 2 significant figures over here because these 2 numbers, that is both the 2's, they are non-zero, so those 2 are significant. Then both the zeros, they are present between 2 non-zeros according to our second rule. So these 2 zeros are present between our 2 non-zero numbers, non-zero digits, so those 2 are also considered to be significant. So overall, how many significant figures we got? We got 1, 2, 3 and 4 significant figures in this one. Okay. So that is our second rule, that when zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, they are considered to be significant. Now let's see what the third rule says. It says that the initial zeros are never significant. Now what do you mean never significant? Now for example, I'll give you 0.001. Now initial zeros means the starting zeros, okay? Now over here these 3 are the starting zeros. And it says that the initial zeros are never significant. So over here these 3 zeros, they can be not considered as significant because they are the starting zeros. So here we have only one significant digit because this is a non-zero. Okay, so we have only one significant figure over here. Similarly, if I give you something called 0.024. Now if I ask you how many significant figures are present over here. So let's check. Now first we will say that these 2 and 4 are significant figures because they are non-zeros. Okay, so we have got 2 of our significant figures. then we can say that this 0 which is present between these two numbers, between these two non-zeros, is significant, because according to our third rule, zeros which are present between two non-zeros are significant. So over here this 0 is significant and the 2 and 4 is significant. So we have got 3 of our significant figures. Now let's check whether these two zeros are significant or not. Now according to the rule, if you see that third rule says that initial zeros are never significant. So these two are initial zeros, that is they are the starting zeros, and the starting zeros are never significant. So over here we have only 3 significant figures. We have only 3 significant figures, that is 2, 0 and 4, because 2 and 4 were non-zeros and non-zeros are always significant, and then here the 0 was present between two non-zero digits, so it became significant. So this was the third rule. So zeros can be significant, they cannot be significant. It depends upon the condition where the 0 is present. Now the fourth rule says that ending zeros are significant only if they appear after decimal. So it says that the ending zeros can be significant, but there's a condition, and the condition is that only if they appear after the decimal, not before the decimal. Now let's take example to see. Now we have something called 3.120 for example. Okay, so here if I ask you how many significant figures are there, so first I'll say 3, 1 and 2. Together they make up 3 significant figures because they are non-zeros. Now let me check whether the 0 will be a significant figure or not. Now according to our fourth rule, it says that the ending zeros are significant only if they appear after the decimal. Now here you can see that there's a decimal. First you need to check whether the 0 is ending or not. Okay, here you can see that the 0 is ending. Okay, it is the last digit, it is an ending 0, the last 0. So this is an ending 0. Then the second condition is that if they appear after the decimal, and this 0 is present after the decimal, not before the decimal, so this 0 can be considered as significant. So overall we have 4 significant figures over here. First these 3 numbers because they are non-zeros, then the 0, that is the last 0, because it is ending 0 and it is appearing after decimal. So overall we have our 4 significant figures present over here. Now let me give you one more example. Suppose we have 400. Now if I ask you how many significant figures are present over here, now you would say that first this 4 is significant because it is a non-zero. Now next you would check for the 0. Now this 0 is present in the last. Okay, it is an ending 0. But if you see that there is no decimal point over here, and ending zeros are only significant if they appear after the decimal. So this 0 cannot be considered as significant because it is, though it is ending, but it is not appearing after the decimal. So it cannot be considered as significant. So we have only one significant figure, that is 4 in this. So the fourth condition says that ending zeros are significant only if they appear after the decimal. So just now I had explained to you about 4 rules which are important to determine the significant figures, and these 4 are, you can say, some extra points or extra rules, and they are also important for determining the significant figures. So let's see what the rule says over here. These are some extra rules. You don't consider them in the proper rules, but they are important for determining. So the first one says zeros between significant figures are significant. Now previously I told you that when zeros are present between two non-zeros, they are significant. For example, just now I told you that, like over here we have 3 significant figures. Okay, we have 3 significant figures because these 2 are non-zeros and non-zeros are always significant. Then over here this 0 is present between 2 non-zeros, so it becomes significant. But over here the statement is a little different because it says that when zeros are present between 2 significant figures, then also they are significant. Now I'll explain you how come it is done. For example, if you have something like 2.00, okay, so you have something called 2.00. Now if you have something like this, what happens is, okay, now let's take some other example instead of this. Suppose you have something like this. Now if I ask you how many significant figures are present in this, now you would say first that these 2 are significant because they are non-zeros. Then you would say that this 0 is significant Now if you remember, I had just told you that the ending zeros are significant only if they come after the decimal, and this comes after the decimal, so it is significant. So we got 3 significant figures. Now the rule says that when zeros are present between significant figures, then also they are significant. Now you can see that here these 2 zeros are present between these significant figures. But if you see that this is it is not a non-zero, it is a significant figure. Last time I said you that when zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, then they are significant. But here the rule is a little changed, and it says that when zeros are present between 2 significant figures, then also they are significant. So here these 3 will be significant, that is 3, 1 and the last 0 are going to be significant, and also the middle zeros, they are also going to be significant. So totally we have 5 significant figures. Because this is a little different of the same rule, it is a different way of saying that when zeros are present between significant figures, then also they are significant. This is basically for such kind of examples where you have 0, because this is not a non-zero, and then you would think that whether the middle zeros will be significant or not. So that is the first rule in the extra points. Now the second rule says that order of magnitude is never significant. Now what do you mean by order of magnitude? Something like 10 to the power 3 or 10 to the power 4. This is called as order of magnitude. These are never significant. They are never considered to be significant. For example, you have something like 2.1 into 10 to the power 3. If I ask you how many significant figures are present in this, now you would say that first these 2 and 1 are significant because they are non-zero, so they are significant. That's simple. Then you see over here that it is 10 to the power 3 is given to you. And the second rule over here in the extra points says that order of magnitude is never significant. So this is never considered to be significant. So overall we have 2 significant figures in this example. Now let's see another example. Now we have something called 200 over here. Now if I ask you how many significant figures are present over here, now you would say that only one significant figure is present over here because you have only one non-zero, that is 2 present here, so that is one significant. Then you would see these 2 zeros. Now there is no condition to which these zeros apply so that they can become significant. Neither they are present between 2 significant figures or 2 non-zeros, nor they are the ending zeros which are present after the decimal. So these 2 zeros cannot be considered as significant. They do not fulfill any of the condition for the zeros to be significant. And only the 2 is the digit that is significant. So you have only one significant figure in this 200. Now if you see, this 200 can be written like 2 into 10 to the power 2. Okay, it means the same, because if you do 2 into 10 to the power 2, what you get is, it is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power 2 is nothing but 2 into 100, and 2 into 100 is 200. So if you have so this can be written like 2 into 10 to the power 2. And if you see that here also you have only one significant figure, and this is the order of magnitude, and I said you that order of magnitude is never significant. So here this is not significant and the 2 is significant. So you have only one significant figure present over here. So that is what you mean by order of magnitude is never significant. Now let's see the third one. Third one says, while changing units, okay, number of significant figures remains the same. Now whenever you change one unit to the other, like in a length or in kgs or anything, if you change from one unit to the other, then the significant figure remains the same. Now for example, you have something like 1.5 meter. Now in this there are 2 significant figures because these 2 are non-zero, so they are significant. Now this 1.5 meter, this is the unit over here, meter is the unit over here. So if I change the unit, that is if I change meter to centimeter, okay, if I change this to centimeter, what is 1.5 meter? It is nothing but 150 centimeters. So if you see here, I have changed the unit. Okay, the values are same. I have just changed the unit. That is 1.5 meter is nothing but 150 centimeters. So whenever I change the unit, the significant figure remains the same. Now if you see here we have 1 and 2 significant figures, and this 0 cannot be considered as significant because it is an ending 0. And that ending 0 is not after decimal. Only if it is after decimal, then it is considered to be significant. So here we have 2 significant figures, right? So whenever we change from one, when we change a value from one unit to another, the significant figure remains the same. Let us take one more example. Like we have 2.0 kilometers. Okay, 2.0 kilometers. If we change this to meters, what happens is it becomes 2000 meters. Okay, now here this is wrong. According to our significant figures, this is wrong, because if they give us 2.0 kilometers, then it should be written in 2.0 into 10 to the power 3 meters. Okay, now I'll tell you how come it's done. Now if you have 2.0, if you check how many significant figures are present in this, you can say that this 2 is significant figure because it is non-zero. Then this 0 is also significant figure because it is an ending 0 and it appears after the decimal. So we have got overall 2 significant figures. Now if you check at this one, which is a correct one, as I said you, if you check, it has 2 significant figures because this is a number that is non-zero and this one is an ending 0 which appears after decimal, and this is an order of magnitude, and an order of magnitude is never significant according to this rule. So here also we have 2 significant figures. So when you have something called 2.0 kilometers, they have given you, so its unit, when you change, you need to write it in this way, that is 2.0 into 10 to the power 3 meters. This is according to your significant figures. But if they give you 2 kilometer, then you can write 2000 meters. Then it will be correct, because here you have only one significant figure, because 2 is a non-zero, it is significant. Then here also you have only one significant figure because that is nothing but 2, and the last are 3 zeros and that are not considered to be significant. So according to significant figures, you need to write the conversions in such a way. Okay, when you have point, you need to write it in the way of point. But if there is no point, then you can write that 2 kilometers equal to 2000 meters. If they give you 2.0 kilometers, then you must write it this way, that 2.0 into 10 to the power 3 meters. So this is with the third rule. Now let's see what the fourth one says. Now the fourth one says that pure numbers or constants, they have infinite significant figures. Okay, infinite significant figures. For example, if I say that we have a cube, let's say we have a cube. Okay, now all of you know that the TSA of a cube is 6a square. Now over here we can say that this 6 is a constant, or you can say it is a pure number over here. So this pure number is going to have infinite significant figures. Okay, this pure number is going to have infinite significant figures. Now if you tell me to prove that, I will say that this 6 can be written, since it is a pure number, it can be written like this also, 6.000. Okay, you have so many, you can write infinite zeros because it is a pure number, so you can add a point, you can write as many zeros as you want, but usually you don't write it that way. Now if we check the significant figures, now here this 6 will be significant because it is a non-zero, we know that. Now over here, this 0 will end somewhere. It is your wish wherever you want to end it. So it will end somewhere. So the ending 0 is going to be significant, right? Only if it appears after decimal. So here the ending 0 is appearing after decimal, so it will be significant. Then all the middle zeros are going to be significant because according to our first rule, zeros between significant figures are significant. So these two have become our significant figures, that is 6 and the last 0 have become our significant figures. And all the zeros that are present between these significant figures are going to be significant. So we can say that this can have infinite significant figures. That is, how many zeros you can extend, that many significant figures will come. So this is with the fourth rule. Now let's solve some sums to have a better understanding of the significant figures. So we have to calculate basically how many significant figures are present. In the first one you can see that it is given 2, 1, 2. So we have 3 non-zero digits, so all 3 are significant. So we have got 3 significant figures. Okay, all the non-zeros are significant, we know that, that's easy. Then the second one, how many significant figures are present? Now if you see first this 2, 1 and 2, these 3 are significant because they are non-zero. then this 0 is also significant because it is an ending 0, it is the last 0, and it is present after the decimal. So wherever there is a last 0 coming after the decimal, it is significant. So we have got here 4 significant figures. Then the third one, you can see this 2, 4 and 2. These 3 are significant. Then these 2 zeros are also significant because whenever the zeros are present between the significant figures, between 2 significant figures, then they are considered to be significant. Also, whenever the zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, then also they are considered to be significant. So here 2 and 4 are those significant figures, and these 2 zeros are present between these 2 significant figures, that is 2 and 4. So they are also considered to be significant. So totally we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have 5 significant figures in this question. Now in the fourth one, let's calculate how many significant figures are present. Now let's go step by step. First, let's mark all the non-zeros as significant, that is 3, 1 and 2. We have got 3 significant figures. Now next one, you check whether there is an ending 0 and if that 0 is after the decimal or not. So we have an ending 0 and that ending 0 is after the decimal. So we have got one more significant figure. So 4 significant figures have come. Next, these two zeros. Now these 2 zeros are present between 2 significant figures, that is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the significant figures. They are non-zeros also. So when the zeros are present between 2 non-zeros, they are significant. Or when the zeros are present between 2 significant figures, then also they are significant. So overall we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 significant figures in the fourth one. In the fifth one, first we'll mark 3 and 1. They are significant because they are non-zero. Then this 0 which is ending 0 coming after decimal, so it is significant. Then these 2 zeros are present between 2 significant figures, that is 1 is a significant figure, ending 0 after decimal is a significant figure, and these 2 zeros are coming between these 2 significant figures. So overall all these numbers are significant over here. So total we have got 5 significant figures in this. In the next one, you can see 3 and 1 are significant because they are non-zero. Okay, they are non-zero digits. Then here we have these 2 zeros. They are not significant. We have got only 2 significant figures because neither these zeros are ending zeros which are coming after decimal, nor the other zeros which are present between 2 significant figures or 2 non-zero digits. So these 2 zeros cannot be considered as significant. Only the first 2 numbers, that is 3 and 1, are considered to be significant because they are non-zeros. In the seventh one, we have 4.20. Now over here 4 and 2 are significant because 4 and 2 are non-zero digits. Then you can see this 0 which is present over here. This is also significant because this 0 which is present over here is an ending 0, and that ending 0 is coming after the decimal. So wherever we have an ending 0 coming after the decimal, it is significant. So overall we have got 3 significant figures over here. Now in this one, you can see that only one significant figure is present, that is 4, because it is a non-zero. Rest are the initial zeros, and I've said you that wherever we have the starting zeros or the initial zeros, they are never considered to be significant. Though the initial zeros are after the decimal or though they are before the decimal, they are never considered to be significant. So we have got only one significant figure in our 8th question. In the 9th one, you can see we have 2 into 10 to the power 2. Now whenever we have an order of magnitude, that is also not considered to be significant. Order of magnitude is never significant. Only the 2 which is present here is significant. So we have again got only one significant figure in this, that is 2, which is a non-zero. Rest is the order of magnitude, and order of magnitude is never considered to be significant. Now I'm going to explain you how to round off the numbers to the respective significant figures, that is the given significant figures. For example, over here in the question they say we need to round off the following numbers to 2 significant figures, that is only 2 numbers should be there, that is one the absolute number that is before the decimal and one number after the decimal. Only 2 numbers should be there. So with this I'm going to explain the rules also. So first one, you see they have given you 3.72. okay, now we need to round off this to 2 significant figures, that is only 2 numbers should be there. So we will see the last digit and we will check how do we round off that. So first you can see that after the point we have 7, then after 7, so we are going to round off that 7 to such a number that is, it becomes only two significant figures. Now for rounding off the number 7, we have to check the next number, and the next number is 2. Now over here 2 is less than 5. Now after the decimal we have the number 7, and after that we have 2. Now when 2 is less than 5, so we will round it off to 3.7. Okay, 2 is less than 5, we have rounded off, and we have let that 7 be as it is, and we have made this number rounded off to 3.7. Now in the next one you can see that we've got 3.76. Now after 7 you can see we have a number which is greater than 5, that is we've got 6. 6 is greater than 5. Now when we get such a number where it is greater than 5, we are going to increase the number, okay, rounding off. So this 3.76 becomes 3.8. In the previous one we had 2 which was less than 5, so we let the number remain the same, that is we let it be 3.7 it is. In the next one we have got 6, that is greater than 5, so we will round off the number to the next greater digit. If it is less than 5, we will let it remain the same. Then we have got 3.752. okay, so we have got it 3 numbers. Now if you check, after 7 you have got a 5 over here. Now if you know that 5 is equal to 5, now in the previous examples we saw that either we have got a number which is less than 5, or we have got a number which is greater than 5, and accordingly we have rounded off the numbers. Okay, if it is less than 5, we let it remain. If it is greater than 5, we change it to the next number. But here we have got the number 5 itself, and 5 is equal to 5. So now we need to check the next number. Next number is 2. Now if that 5 is followed by a non-zero, if the 5 is followed by a non-zero digit, then we will increase. Okay, now here after 5 we have got a non-zero digit. Non-zero digits are 1 to 9, you know. So we have got a non-zero digit over here. So whenever we get a 5 and that 5 is followed by a non-zero digit, so we are going to increase it, and this becomes 3.8. we are going to increase 7, it becomes 3.8. so we have rounded off this to two significant figures. In the next one you can see again we have 3 decimal places. Okay, after decimal places we have got 3 numbers. So if you check, we have got 6 here, then after 6 you can see we have got 5. So again the same thing is happening, we have got 5 is equal to 5. So we are not able to decide what to do. So we are going to check the next number. Next number is 3. 3 is a non-zero, the same thing which happened in the previous one. So whenever we have got a 5, and whenever that 5 is followed by a non-zero digit, then we are going to increase that, and this becomes 4.7. we are going to increase the 6 to the next number, that is 4.7. In the next one you can see we have got a 7. If we see the next one, we have got a 5. So again 5 is equal to 5, and that is followed by a 0. So again we got a 5, we are not able to decide what to do. So we are going to go to the next decimal place, that is 0. Now whenever it is followed by a 0, we are going to let it remain as it is, and this will remain the same. Okay, not this way, I'm sorry, it is not done this way. Whenever we have got something like 5 is equal to 5, we are going to see the previous one. Okay, we have got 5 and we have got the next one as 0. Now when we got non-zero, we had increased it, but when we get 0, what are we going to do? We are going to see the previous number. The previous one is an odd number, so we are going to increase it. We have to check the previous number, we need to check whether it is an odd number or even number, but here we have got an odd number. The previous number is odd, so whenever we have got an odd number, we are going to increase it. Here you can see again we have got number 6, then we have followed it by 5, so 5 is equal to 5. But if we see the next number, it is a 0. Whenever we have got a non-zero, we increased it, but whenever we get a 0, we are going to check the previous one. The previous number is 6, and 6 is an even number. So whenever we get an even number, that time we are going to let it remain as it is, and this will remain 3.6 only. So I'll just revise once again. Now here we had 7, next number we went, that was less than 5, so we let it remain 3.7. In the next one we have got 3.76, it was greater than 5, so we change it to the next number, that is 3.8. Third one we can see we have got here 7 and the number followed by 5. Now when we have got 5, we are confused what to do. So we're going to check the next number. Next number is a non-zero. So if we have a non-zero, we are going to increase it automatically without thinking once again. Next one also we did the similar thing, that when we have got a 5 and that 5 is followed by a non-zero, that is 3, we had increased it. But when we get a situation like 3.750 where we have a number and then we have got 5, we are confused what to do. So we check the next number, that is a 0. Now again we are confused, if we have got a 0, what to do next. If we had a non-zero, we increased it. But if we have a 0, what we are going to do is we need to check the previous number, that is previous to 5, and that is 7. We are going to check whether the previous number is an even or an odd number. Now here the previous number was odd, and whenever we have odd number, we are going to increase it. Here also we had a similar condition. We had got 5 and the next number was followed by a 0. Whenever we have 0, we are going to check the previous number. Previous number was 6, which is an even number, and whenever we have got even number, we are going to let it remain the same. So that is the rounding off. Now I'll tell you about the calculations in significant figures. Now what happens when we add or subtract such significant figures? The result should be rounded off to the same number of decimal places as present in the value with the least decimal places. Okay, now whenever we add or subtract, whatever the result we get, that should be rounded off to as many decimal places as present in the value with the least decimal places. Now for example, in the first one you can see we have got 2.24 and we have added the value 0.3 to that. So when we add, what we get, the answer is 2.54. Now this answer should be rounded off to the one to the value which is having the least decimal places. Now in this you can see this upper value is having 2 decimal places, because after decimal there are 2 numbers, so 2 decimal places. Here we have got 1 decimal place because after decimal only 1 number, so the least one is this one. So the least is 1, so the 1 is the least decimal place. So the result also should be rounded off to 1 decimal place, because that is what is the statement saying. The statement, again I'll read it. It says that the result should be rounded off to the same number of decimal places as present in the value with the least one. So here least is 1, so this also should be rounded off, that is the result should be rounded off to 1 decimal place. So if we check for 2.54, this should be rounded off to 1 decimal place, that is after decimal only one number should be there. Now if you see after 5 we have got a 4. Now we have to see the next number after 5 and check whether we have to increase 5 or let it remain as 5. So if we check after 5 we have got a 4 and 4 is less than 5. So whenever we have got a number less than 5, the number will remain the same. So this will be 2.5 as it is, because we have got a 4. If we had got 2.56 or something that is greater than 5, then we would have made it 2.6. So here we have rounded off the result to the value which is having the least decimal places. Okay, so here our result is also having only 1 decimal place, that is the value which is having only 1 decimal place, so it is having the least decimal places. In the next one you can see we have got here 3.56 and we need to subtract 0.021 from 3.56. So this is having only 2 decimal places and this is having 3 decimal places. But when we had to subtract, I have added 1 0 over here because that was the way. But we have got only 2 decimal places over here and over here 3. So the final answer should be rounded off to 2 decimal places, because the value is the least decimal place which is present in both the values is 2. So we have to round off the result to the least decimal places of one of the values, and the least decimal place is 2. So this also should be rounded off to 2 decimal places, that is after decimal you should have 2 numbers. So let that 5 remain as it is, and let us check how do we round off this 3, 9 to one number. So let us write 3.5. Now we need to round off this. Now you have here 1 3, and after 3 you have got 9, and 9 is greater than 5. So we are going to increase it and this 3 will become 4. Now you can see that we have rounded off the result to 2 decimal places as present in the value with the least one. So that is what is the statement says, and I have showed you in both addition and subtraction. Now let us see what we need to do when we have got the multiplication and division of significant figures. So in the previous one I told you about addition and subtraction. So when we have got addition and subtraction of significant figures, we are going to check the decimal places, and the least decimal places that we have got, we are going to round off the result also to that least decimal places. Now what to do when we have got multiplication and division of significant figures? Now in such a way, the result will be rounded off to the same number of significant figures. Now this time we have not got decimal places, we have got significant figures. When it comes to addition and subtraction, we have to check the decimal places, but when it comes to division and multiplication, we have to see the significant figures. So here in the multiplication and division, the result should be rounded off to the same number of significant figures as present in the value with the least significant figure. So basically we have to check both the values, and the result should be rounded off to the least significant figures. That is, I'll take for example and show you. Now here I've got two values and I've got the result also over here. Now in this, the first value you can see, we need to check how many significant figures are there. Now we have got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 significant figures we have got here, because the 0 is also significant because it is present between two non-zero numbers, digits. So we have got here 5 significant figures. In the second value, we have got here 2 significant figures. Okay. Now which is the least significant figure in both of them? Definitely 2 is the least significant figure. So our result also should be rounded off to the value which is having the least significant figures. That is, it should be rounded off to 2 significant figures, and 2 because 2 is the least in both of the values. So this is our result. Now let's check how many significant figures are present. In this we have got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figures, but since 2 is the least one from both the values, we have to round off this result also to 2 significant figures. Okay. Now how to round this off to 2 significant figures? So first one, let me write this 3. Now we need to round off this leftover numbers to one number. Okay, we need to round it off that all these numbers in such a way that all these numbers will make only one number, so that we have got 2 significant numbers. Because we have already got one non-zero digit, we have already got one significant figure, we need to get one more significant figure. So we need to round off this part of the result. So you can see we have got a 2 over here, and that after the point we have got 6. Okay, so immediately after the point you see what we have got, so that we can round off this. So after the point we have got 6, and 6 is greater than 5. So we have got 6 and 6 is greater than 5. So whenever we have got a number which is greater than 5, we are going to change the previous number to the next number. So we are going to change this 2 to 3. So our final result will be 33. And now you can see that this 33 is having 2 significant figures. So we have rounded off our result to 2 significant figures. That is, we have rounded off our result to the same number of significant figures as present in the value with the least significant figure. And the value is 0.23, which had the least significant figure. So here our result also is having only 2 significant figures. Now let's check for division. In division we have got here 0.90 divided by 4.26. Now in the 0.90 we have got 2 significant figures. 9 is one significant figure and the ending 0 is one significant figure which is appearing after decimal. And in the second value we have got 3 significant figures because all 3 are non-zero digits. In the result we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures, and the initial 0 is not considered to be a significant, you know that. So we have got here 5 significant figures. Now we need to round off this result which is having 5 significant figures to the least number of significant figures, and the least number of significant figures is 2. So from both the values you need to check the value which is having the least number of significant figures, and this is the value that is having the least number of significant figures, and that least number of significant figures is nothing but 2. So our final result also should be rounded off to only 2 significant figures. So 0 is not considered to be as significant, so we will write 0 point. Now we will write our first significant figure, that is 2. Now we need to write one more significant figure. Okay, so we have to round off this part to one number. Now what we have got here is that after point we have got 2, we wrote that 2. Now we need only 2 significant figures. So after 2 we have got here 1, and 1 is less than 5. Okay, so 1 is less than 5. So we will not change that one number to 2 or anything, the next number. We will let that number 1 remain as it is. So our final answer will be rounded off to 0.21. That is having 2 significant figures as present in the value with the least one. So that's all with the significant figures. I hope you understood my video. If you liked it, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel, CBC Tutorials. Thank you for watching.